If I ask you to name the two most discussed topics nowadays, wouldn't they be COVID-19 pandemic and global warming? What you yourself would consider this pandemic like? Well, of course it was not good, but what if I tell you that this pandemic has introduced us too many new possibilities and positivity in terms of global warming? Alright, this is what we researched about if COVID pandemic has been affecting the weather factors. Hi, my name is Tasnim Rafia and my fellow friend is Tanveer Hasan. We are computer science graduating students at International Islamic University, Malaysia. We have been working on the research-based project entitled The Effects of COVID-19 in Global Warming through the application of data science. So, let's dive into the detail of the project. As I was saying, global warming is a constant alarming concern. Meanwhile, COVID-19 is a new inclination towards the disruption to conventional viability. One is unthinkable to disregard, while the other one is taking the attention. Relating these two trending issues will be leading to be acknowledged to whether COVID-19 has any contribution to affect global warming. This research is inspired by Sustainable Development Goals 7 and 13, which are affordable and clean energy as well as climate action to investigate the scale of climate change in two Asian regions, China and Malaysia, before and after COVID-19 pandemic through the application of data science. We have analyzed several contemporary temperature datasets, nitrogen emission dataset that incorporates year 2019 to 2022 using machine learning algorithm along with a prediction through machine learning models of upcoming years in those places. According to the analysis, the average temperature has roughly come down from 25.5 degrees Celsius to around 24 degrees Celsius throughout the year of 2019 to 2022, accompanied by a detectable change in nitrogen emission. Due to an observation of electricity and automobile usage reduction during pandemic. Anyways, the entire project includes a few dimensions. For instance, to analyze the datasets, to predict the future temperature, and to create an interactive dashboard for further understanding and comparison. COVID-19 had forcefully created a 24/7 at-home lifestyle, which tended to decrease industrial power usage as the factories were quite inactive, along with a history of automobile less usage, which resulted in comparatively less nitrogen dioxide emission to the environment. This was a constructive contribution to global warming, including the regrowth of ozone layer. In this work, the findings need to be supported by practical analysis. A few steps that we followed step by step to accomplish the study, like finding real-time datasets, combining the temperature dataset with the nitrogen emission dataset for necessary features, observing outcomes, determining decisions, choosing prediction models, preparing an interactive dashboard. Nowadays, the significance of talking about global warming is highly required. For example, because of this issue, Malaysia has been facing weather is getting rougher, like floods, excessive temperature increase, droughts, etc. Anyway, we are directly or indirectly responsible for this situation by cutting trees, hills indiscriminately, by making overusage of refrigerators, air conditioner, etc. These result in the emission of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, which destroys the ozone layer. As researchers found out a positive construction of ozone layer after COVID pandemic started, it's undoubtedly important to analyze with real-time scenario. The entire methodology includes a few segments like collecting data, environmental setup, cleaning, processing, observing data, and creating dashboard. The temperature and nitrogen datasets were retrieved from the Earth data and NASA websites. The datasets for nitrogen was in a form of netcdf format. Therefore, we needed to extract the data from netcdf into Excel format so that it's more understandable to deal with a 2D data frame. We used Python platform for data processing and observing phase. As an environmental setup, we had to install necessary libraries in Jupyter Notebook and Google Colab. We have prepared a few visualizations after data processing using Python. Well, and for creating the interactive dashboard, we used Excel with its Power Pivot feature for analyzing data. The dashboard can be used for comparing the datasets of different time series, like you can easily identify the temperature difference of different years. For temperature prediction, we chose Prophet model to train the system. The result was quite fascinating. The temperature indicator line follows the existing pattern simultaneously for both China and Malaysia. Let's have a look if the model was worth enough. Well, to define that, we need to observe the three indicators of accuracy, which are R-squared, mean squared error, and mean absolute error. 100% R-squared score signifies perfect correlation. Our score is 0.885. We can say nearly 1, which means almost 100%. For mean squared error, the lower the value is, the more the algorithm is reliable. The MSE value of our model is 0.733, that's less than 1. And the mean absolute error here is 0.208, which is not bad. Okay, so based on R-squared, mean squared, and absolute error, the algorithm might be widely accepted as daily temperature forecasting model. We wanted to know the impact of COVID pandemic in heavily populated and a comparatively less populated country and see if the results are similar. We hope that we got what we are looking for. The average temperature has dropped in both countries. And most importantly, we had a discovery of less nitrogen emission in both countries after pandemic started. The graphs and the visualizations are just speaking about this fact. Although this pandemic had a positive touch towards the environment, it's still not appreciable as people are away from their daily chores. The entire study reveals significant factors of climate change and inspires us to be used to nature-friendly activities. In future, we aim to extend the activities of discovering many more hidden factors related to global warming in many more geographical locations.